Hi, good afternoon. I am Tracee Dunblazier, spiritual empath, here on behalf of COVR, the Coalition of Visionary Resources. This is our chat cast, and we are the trade organization for the mind, body, spirit industry. Every a couple of Wednesdays every month, I speak to our membership, which is they're all new age vendors in some way, shape, or form. And today we've got a wonderful woman. Her name is Madeline Gerwisk, and her business is called Polaris Business Guides. And she happens to be an expert business astrologer and consultant, and she helps companies and individuals prosper by working in harmony with the universe. So I'm very excited to talk to you right now, because that's one thing that everybody needs right now, is to focus on things that are positive and ways that we can prosper regardless of the circumstances around us. So hi, Madeline, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. And yes, we brought out our book this year, well, actually the very end of last year, Money is an Energy Game. Because it is such an important understanding for people to know that their bank accounts are related directly to their own energy, their own thoughts, feelings, actions, whatever they're focused on. And so and the book actually is over 300 pages. So it covers a lot.
A lot of
a
stuff.
lot. Yeah. And
No
of course,
doubt.
I'm always doing my work as an astrologer. And I do both business, economic, and actually personal astrology too. So
how did you get into astrology?
very oddly, I was working as a waitress while I was in college. And this guy comes in one day and he watches me for maybe 10 minutes. And then he says, "I bet you're a Virgo." And I am a Virgo. Of course, this guy was trying to pick me up for a date, right?
Yes.
And so he had this book, and it was called, it was by Grant Louie. It was called Heaven Knows What. And it had all these little paragraphs in it. You could look up your own birth date and read about yourself or anybody else.
Right.
And when I did this, went on this date with this guy, I looked up myself and I looked up every member of my family, and I could not believe how accurate it was. I was blown away. So I had to learn what was going on. You know, I was just like, okay, we're going to find out about this, because how can this work? I was, studying science and economics and, pretty rational sorts of things, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, and I probably took maybe 19 or 20 years. I studied it for 19 or 20 years and then took a test. And then started my full-time business as an astrologer. But I had worked in business for a long time. So I really wanted to help people in business to understand how they could use timing to prosper better, because there are certain times when you just cannot win. And we get timeouts every week, or what I call a cosmic timeout, and they happen all over the world at the same time.
You had mentioned that today there was a special configuration happening. I think that you said that, so where Mercury's in retrograde, but today it's stationary. What was the word that you used?
Well, it's stationed about 2 days ago, so it's barely moving at this time. And what was my problem getting online today? My computer had decided it was going to turn itself off, and it was super slow getting back up, right? So and that's what it's like when Mercury is slow and not moving. Our communications are slow. Our traffic is slow. We have delays in our projects. And as long as we're expecting everything to flow at a normal rate, we're going to just be frustrated.
Right.
And if you know in advance, hey, things are slowing down, let's add some extra time here. Let's make sure that, we're not going to be upset if we're, running a couple of minutes late or whatever, you see. So it's one of those crazy things that if you knew about it, you would prepare differently, and then you would have a better experience. And we're also in
Right.
Mars retrograde right now. Now, Mars retrograde is even more challenging because we get Mercury retrograde 3 times a year for about 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but Mars retrograde takes 10 to 11 weeks. And this is a time when you just really cannot make new starts work. It just doesn't, it just doesn't pan out, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get people who will try it anyways and then come back and say, we'll never do that again. We'll never do
Right.
that. Excuse me.
So what would you say is the most, I do some astrology as well, and what would you say is the most, that's okay, take your time.
Okay.
What would you say is the most potent astrological configuration? The one that is most impactful, like for me, it's the eclipses. The eclipses, sometimes if it's a lunar eclipse in Pisces, I mean, I feel it. I feel that. So
Right.
what do you think?
It
'Cause
depends. It depends a great deal on your chart as to what's going to be the most impactful for you. It depends a lot on your own chart. So certainly an eclipse can have a major impact, super major impact on somebody's chart. But if if they do not have a planet or a personal point within 1 degree, maybe 2.5 degrees at the most, either where that eclipse is or opposite it, then it's not going to impact them in the same way that it would somebody who has a personal planet at that point or opposite that. There you are.